Hey fam, how are you? And happy Saturday to you. As always, I hope you are having a wonderful day today. Well, of your day thus far, because the day is not over with, is it? And can you believe we're in the month of March already? The month of March. So March is we're actually in the last month of the first quarter of 2024. Can you believe that? March 2nd. We're already in the third month of the year. That is amazing to me and blows my mind. But before I get into what I want to talk to you guys about, first, let me introduce myself just in case. I don't want to just assume that anyone knows who I am. I'm Valerie. I'm a trauma transformational coach, and I help high-achieving women cultivate their healing and rebuild their self-worth after leaving a toxic relationship. But I want to come on first and invite you to, I'm hosting a workshop on March 12th at 7 p.m. entitled Rising from the Ashes. Now, this workshop was designed to deal with the aftermath of a toxic relationship. So I want to invite you to that. I'm going to have the link below in the description here in this video for you to go right ahead and register for it. I would love to see you in the workshop. This workshop is for the woman that has made the courageous decision to leave and get out of that toxic environment. This workshop is for the woman that is making really great strides in her business, her career, her family, but is suffering behind closed doors, behind closed doors with pain from leaving a toxic relationship. This workshop is for a woman that has left the relationship but is having a hard time in moving forward. So if you or anyone you know falls in any one of those categories, or if you're just simply interested, I invite you to register for my workshop, Rising from the Ashes. It's going to take place on March 12th virtually at 7 p.m. And I have the link in the description. You could also go to my YouTube bio. The link will be there as well. But so you don't have to go out your way. It'll be right in this description. So go ahead and register for that workshop. I hope to see you. It's going to be impactful and powerful. You're going to really enjoy it. Although I'm going to be teaching on some powerful techniques, it's going to be a conversation between you and I. So it's going to be very, very interesting, and I hope to see you there. So pulling back now, we're going to get into the topic for today. So I want to share with you guys some signs or symptoms of a woman dealing with emotional pain. Since we're in the month of Women's History Month, I just want to, this topic is based around women, which my audience is women, but these signs go over into male to being a male. But I want to talk to you about the 5 signs of emotional pain or symptoms that you can see in a woman. Now, there are others, but these are the 5 that I resonate with, and that I even have some personal experience with some of them in my past as well. So number one of the emotional signs that you can see in a woman that's perhaps having some emotional pain is eating or sleeping too much or too little. And that can go either way. They're either eating too much or eating, more than they normally eat, or they're not eating. They've pushed away from the table, or they're sleeping a whole lot, or they're not sleeping, getting the sleep that they need. It's always on one end of the spectrum, and it's generally one extreme or the other. Me, with my own personal experience, I dealt with not sleeping. I dealt with insomnia for many months, maybe even a couple of years, when I was going through my emotional trauma. So eating or sleeping too much or too little, either way, that's one sign. And it doesn't have to always be that, but that's one good, proven sign that a person could be dealing with some emotional pain. Number 2, pulling away from people and things. I like to say isolation. You isolate yourself. A lot of times when we're going through things, people, if they're not feeling well or things are going on, they pull away. If they're normally sociable, they're a social person. They're normally a person that talks and, go out and it's just very friendly. But all of a sudden, so this person has kind of retreated back. They're not as sociable. They've pulled back from people and or things. So pulling back from people or things, and I like to say isolation, that's another sign to pay attention to. Number 3, Lack of energy. This is another sign. Lack of energy. Tired all the time. You find yourself tired. You don't have the energy. You don't have the get up and go to even do certain things. Just normal things. It could be housework. Just normal things that you would normally do. Nothing strenuous, but you just don't have the energy. You don't have the energy to go to the grocery store. You don't have the energy to clean your house. You don't want to do anything. So lack of energy is a sign to pay attention to. Number 4, feeling like you have to be busy all the time. This is a big one, a huge one. And I've noticed this. Because I'm, aware of things now, I've noticed this in people. Busyness, feeling like you got to be busy all the time. You got your hands in 10 different things. You just doing everything. You in this organization, that organization, in the church, at the PTA meeting, at the club meeting, your sorority meeting, at your husband's club or whatever. You just in everything. Feeling like you have to be busy all the time. And this, a lot of times, generally is a way of dealing or coping with something internally. A lot of times we can keep ourselves busy so that we don't have to face or deal with something that's really bothering us. So if we just put our head down and stay busy and engrossed in stuff and things and doing for others and just all over the place, then it keeps us from having to really focus on what's going on the inside. So feeling like you got to be busy all the time, that's not always a good thing. Don't get me wrong, there's a place and a time for multitasking. I'm not talking about generally multitasking. I'm talking about when you can't say no, you're in everything and you're depleting yourself. That's another sign, number 4. Number 5 is personality changes. Now this could come in the form of a person you just notice, you might not even be able to put your finger on what it is, but you just notice that this person's not themselves. You've noticed a sudden change. All of a sudden, either they have anxiety or they might be short with it, look like they got a little anger on them. Normally when they speak, they're nice and polite, but now they're a little bit short. If you ask them a question, they're very short. Their patience is short. They have seem to be agitated. They might even be angry, but you see some personality changes. So these are signs of personality changes. Being agitated, being short with you, being quiet when they normally talk a lot. So these are 5 signs that are clear signs that a person could be dealing with emotional pain from within. So if you see those 5 signs, just pay attention to them. So those are 5 clear signs. Now, on the reverse side, what can we do to help someone? If we notice these signs and symptoms, what are some of the solutions that we could partake in or solicit, if we see this? Number 1, something as simple, it's not rocket science. Something as simple as reaching out to that person. Just a simple phone call. I can even say for myself, there have been times in the past where maybe something happened or something to someone, and I would say to myself, I noticed that person wasn't themselves. I noticed something was different about them. I noticed this or that. If you notice something, we live in a society where we're always on the go, but if you notice something about a person and you're close enough to them, reach out to them. Give them a phone call. Something as simple as a phone call could change a person's day, could make their day. Ask them, how are you? I was thinking about you. You was on my mind. Or just clearly say, are you okay? I notice you're not your normal self. But reach out to the person. Something as simple as making a phone call or having a conversation, inviting them for breakfast, whatever the case may be, to let them know, hey, I see you and you don't seem to be your normal self. Are you okay? Number 1, reach out. Number 2, once you've reached out, depending on what they say and what the report is from that conversation, let them know that you're there for them. Now, you may or may not can help them, but you are helping them really, so I want to retreat from that. You are helping them by just simply saying, how are you? I was thinking about you. That, to me, that's helping right there, because that can open the door. If something is there, a lot of times that can open the door. But 2, be there for them, and sometimes people just only need a listening ear. Sometimes people just need somebody to vent to. They don't have anybody to talk to. It could be a single person, a single woman, or it could even be somebody married or whatever. But, a lot of times people don't have anyone to talk to, and they might just need a sounding board. They need someone to listen to them. They might need a shoulder to cry on. So be there for them. And then number 3, If you reached out to them, they've shared with you, or if you let them know that you're there for them, whatever the case may be, whatever the report is, whatever you found out, then, you might need to, depending on what the situation, you might need to refer them to another helpful source. And that source could be a trusted spiritual advisor. It could be a trusted family or friend. It could be a coach, or it could be, if needed, a health professional. So those are some of the things that we could do as solutions to those signs. If we see or witness those signs in our coworkers, our girlfriends, our associates, our family members, if we see those in our fellow sister, then we need to pay attention and I think sometimes people just want to know that somebody care. If you just say, hey, how you doing? I noticed that you don't seem to be yourself. Are you okay? A lot of times that's all that's really needed. So I want to share with you those 5 signs that you can detect that a person might be dealing with emotional pain, okay? I want to share that with you and tie that back in to my workshop. I'm going to be talking about that. I'm going to be addressing emotional and mental trauma after a toxic relationship, okay? So I hope to see you in that workshop, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I do not take it for granted. I appreciate you. And with that, I ask that you click that thumbs up button, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you're aware of any videos that I have coming forward. And I hope to see you on the next video. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.